What's up, you guys? Jason DX here, back with another review, and today I'm taking a look at the Judge Dredd from Hiya Toys. This is the limited edition Cursed Earth Judge Dredd. Gotta find my words. I've never bought anything from Hiya Toys, and I saw this, I pre-ordered this on Amazon. I actually saw D Amazing review this, and I thought that looked pretty cool, so I thought I was gonna pick it up. This is apparently the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive, but I got it no problem off of Amazon. Got to me, and it's a decent figure. I know one that I'm going to be comparing this to is going to be the Mezco version, because this is one of your high-end action figures. It's going to cost you roughly about 90 bucks or whatever. So let's go ahead and take a look at him and compare him over with the Mezco Judge Dredd. I think I got the Legendary Heroes around here somewhere, so I'll try to find that too. So sadly, before this review, I couldn't find the Legendary Heroes Judge Dredd, but I think the Mezcos would be more appropriate. So we're going to go ahead and get him out of the way, and we're going to take a look at the box that he comes in. The exquisite Super Judge Dredd limited edition Cursed Earth. I mean, really, he only comes with a cloak. I can't say for sure. I kind of wish he came with a shotgun, but you know, on top you got Judge Dredd there. You got on the side a little bit of the artwork there. Got some nice artwork on the back. It continues on to the side. I kind of wish they had the Lawmaster for the Hiya Toys, because I've wanted the one from Mezco for a while, but can't really get that sucker for a decent price. So here's how he's going to come out of the, just, you know, kind of out of the box. You've got both of his lawgivers in his holster there, and you got the version 2 one. I forget which one that one was called, but yeah, I like the gold on this figure. You've got the little lightning bolts on the eyes. The facial expression looks good. Don't try to pull the helmet off. They didn't sculpt any eyes on there. It's just the helmet. But the cape looks very weathered, got some holes in it. It's got some bendy wire in it. So now you can see some of that detail on there. I do like this gold, this kind of brassy kind of color for the pauldrons on him. I like the belt. The belt is a very, very soft plastic though. Kind of goes up and down. And you got like this faux leather on him. Nice wash on the green for the gloves, the pouches, the elbow pads, knee pads. It gets a little bit darker down here. Also, these boots are a full rubber coating, as you can see. Like a rubber piece just kind of goes up around the leg, including the holster, which is just molded in there. And we'll get these out of here so you can kind of see. You know, we'll get to all the accessories and everything. This gun is huge in his hand, by the way. Like, massive. I'll compare it to some of the other lawgivers from Mezco, but yeah. And you can take all this off. Now, Mezco chose to use magnets to hold these pauldrons on. Mine have held up, but they are just attached by little ball pegs. And there's one in there. And that's how you're going to take the cloak off, which we're going to remove that, and you just take his head off, and there you go. So now you can pop the head back on. We'll leave it off. I mean, I'll have it on there for some pictures. But yeah, off he kind of looks weird, but yeah, just pop those back on. There you go. And get the eagle one. And there you go. His badge does have a metal chain, metal zipper, which will go all the way down. I'll show some more of the articulation on the figure with that. But the badge is just a little plastic piece with a magnet on the inside of it. Now it can kind of move around a bit, but you know, it just set about. I think it sits a little low, but then you got this pauldron in the way, which we can kind of move that out a little bit. So yeah, actually the magnet is right there. That's where it's supposed to sit. Just, it sits a little low. But I do like the figure. I know Mezco's always kind of run big on other 1/12 scale figures, so this guy scales much better with other figs. On the back, he's only got the one holster for his gun. I know the Legendary Heroes had like a holster on the back and one on the leg for both of the lawgivers. But this does look good. It's a very good recreation. It is a bit hard to pose with this suit. You got to kind of really work with it. If you're familiar with Mezco's, then you know exactly what you're dealing with, because he has some very nice butterfly joints. The problem is getting it to stay there because of the way that the material is. So you got to kind of work with it. Eventually you can get him into that pose. So yeah, really nice figure. We'll get into the articulation, but first, let's get into the accessories that it comes with. So along with the figure and everything you get here, you do get a nice box to store everything in. You got some writing here for some other judges, so they're going to reuse this for maybe a couple of other figures. It does come with 2 different lids. This one has holes for the armature, and this one just has 1 hole for the armature, but it has a very nice Judge Dredd emblem on there. I like this one. Probably going to be using this one instead. This is nice and everything, but one is good for the armature. And it breaks down into a couple of pieces. It is not strong enough to like support Dredd and aerial poses. And I tried like trying to tighten up these screws. Didn't have a lot of luck with them. They are pretty tight in there already. I think the bolt is in there and it's like covered up. It's not as good as some of those really cheap stands that you get off. I do like the clip, how it like fully goes all the way closed here. So yeah, it's a nice armature, but it's just, it won't hold its weight very well if you try to do anything too dynamic with it. So, and they give you a plastic bag, just like Mezco, give you a little bag to put everything in. Got the Hiya logo there. And of course, you know, a warning, keep this away from, you know, children who could choke on it. Now, getting into the heads, this is the one that he comes with. Well, it comes on the figure. Very nice, grimacy Judge Dredd there. Like I said, there are no eyes sculpted on any of these. Just don't go pulling the helmets off. I like the gold on the head crest. Very cleanly painted. Love the lines on there. You have one where he's starting to get a little bit upset with you. Now, mine seems a little crooked if you look at it. Just a little bit. That could be just Dredd's got a, you know, kind of, it looks a little crooked, but, you know, I like this one still. And then you have the very, very upset. He is angry. He is going to do something terrible to you, that Judge Dredd. So, yeah, you know, 3 heads, that's pretty good. You do have this lawgiver, which has a nice little bit of paint on there showing the dial. Now, I could be wrong on, like, weapon names and everything. It's been a little bit. So I know this lawgiver is, I think, more the classic one. And you have this one, which is just massive. This magazine does not come out, by the way, in case you're looking to do that with the Mezco version. But it does look good. I like the red paint on there. I know this is like the second version of this one because it's a little bit flatter over here, I think. He does have the Riot Foam. I thought this was spray paint for a second, which I was like, why do they have a spray paint can? But no, this is the Riot Foam that they use. It's got a little bit of detail on there. There you go. Maybe a level how much is left, and looks pretty cool. Nice, very nice detail on it. You get 3 blast effects, which I'll zoom in a little bit on those. You get the smaller one that's just like a firing effect. Kind of cool. Maybe something. You got this one, it's got kind of a bullet on the end. And then you have a smoke effect. Now mine came with this little tab broken. It had never been opened, it looked sealed and everything, but this was broken. I put a little glue on there, but I'm hard pressed to put this in any weapon because I'm afraid it's not gonna come out because these weapon effect pieces are very tight in the weapons. Like if I put this in here, and I'm, a ham-fisted cudgel, so that's as far as I wanna go with this. I've tried and I don't like how it feels, so I'm not willing to go any further than that. But I mean, you can get it in there. And when you kind of pull it out, just kind of, be gentle with it. Same thing with this gun. These are really tight to get in here. You might be able to see a little bit of the paint that's come off on the tip, just the tip. As far as it can go in, there you go, a little bit more there. But I'm not willing to push this all the way in. I don't know if it's just a layer of paint over the plastic or something that's getting scraped away, because of course it gets easier as I do it. So I think it's just the paint layer was a little bit too thick, and now it's starting to come off. I can't really see any down the barrel of the gun, but yeah. If you're going to do it, just be careful with it. You do get 2 holding hands for your weapons. Pretty good big grip on that one. You can put the other lawgiver in here. He comes with 2 fists, which come on the figure. You do have a hand specifically for the Riot Foam, which you can kind of in there. And I'll have pictures at the end showing him holding everything. So there you go. Puts his finger around top of the can so he can give you a little spritz there, clean you up. You do have another gripping hand. This is more for the day stick, which is right here. A lot of good paint apps on these. You got the brown on the wrapping here. You got a little bit of blood on the back. Well, you got a lot of blood on the back. This thing has been used. This thing has been used a lot. And not cleaned off. So you could probably, catch something as well. It's very unsanitary. And then, of course, you got some smaller hands, which I guess these would kind of be more appropriate for the smaller lawgiver. But there's another hand for the bat. So, yeah, these are really the ones that kind of go together here for holding the bat. The day stick. So, yeah, the one thing is, like, when you use this hand to grip the larger lawgiver, it's pretty much ruined to hold the handle for this one. It's really just kind of not in there secure now. So choose your lawgiver. I'm leaving this one in the I'm leaving the smaller one in the holster. Back my camera. I'll just back up a little bit. Still a bit of Jordan the Stallion there. But yeah, those are all the accessories that your character comes with. And of course, we showed off the cloak. Got the hole in there for the other peg. Bendy wire all through here. Yeah, this looks good. So getting back to the figure, I did want to show something before I get... Now, you'll notice these pegs on these hands are pretty long, and I'm very wary of putting the hands on and off of these things. They're soft like Mezco hands, but not quite there. And the peg is pretty long. So when you're doing this, and I noticed like when I was taking mine off, maybe a little bit of stress there. So when you're doing it, just kind of, it's going to sound weird, just like ease it in there, okay? Just, be real gentle and just kind of slow and push that on. So there you go. And I'm going to go ahead and put the larger hand back on for the lawgiver, but as you can see, just kind of push up. See, I get really worried putting these on. I'm afraid I'm going to break that peg, and it didn't come like any extra pegs like you get maybe like with a Figma or something. So just use caution getting those on. Also, the like little lip on the glove will kind of like hinder some articulation, which we will get into now. Let me move this out of the holster. So you do have like that full rubber piece that I showed you for the boot. You can go back pretty far. The only problem is it's not going to be held because this rubber is going to just spring it back into place. So you can get some side-to-side action. The boot itself is a full rubber piece here, like surrounding it, and they use kind of a harder plastic on the bottom. I showed you that holster. It was very rubbery. You got double jointed knees, pretty good. Goes all the way back there. You do have a thigh twist in there somewhere. Legs will go forward pretty far. Like I said, the fabric will like push it back down a little bit. Can't go back too far. There is a butt plate in there. There is a waist joint hidden in there. And just to see a little bit more of the articulation available, let me move this down. So also, when you're doing this, don't grab at the gold part of the zipper. Grab at the zipper and pull it down. So now, Dredd's getting all... Anyway, you do have a ball joint in the upper torso here. It doesn't have a lot of give on it, but there is a lower one down there too that's kind of assisting a little bit. If you can see how that's moving underneath there. And you do have some nice butterfly joints as long as I got them, partially not clad. And remember, when you're using this, use the zipper to go back up. I showed you all that, but I'm telling you, it's going to be very hindered just due to the suit. So the arms will go out not very far because the suit starts to get tight right here. You do have butterfly joints, which will go backwards and forwards, and very nice, even with the fabric. You do have a bicep swivel. It's somewhere in there. Trust me, it's there. Double jointed elbows, gets up about that far. You do have like one of those circular joints, the half moon joints with pegs in both sides, into the forearm and into the hand. So, you just got to kind of do some twisting. As you can see, it's right there. You just kind of saw it when it was open. So you just got to, treat it like kind of like one of those Revoltech joints. Yeah, otherwise, very good articulation on the figure. You do have two ball joints, a lower neck and upper. So you can get a little bit out of it. I mean, it's doing, for 2 joints, you're not getting a lot. It goes down pretty far, but back, not so much. I would like to see this guy on a Lawmaster at some point. Maybe Hiya Toys will knock one of those out. But overall, I mean, it's a good figure, but let's get into some comparisons. So here you are with the 2 Mezco figures they released. We have the Cursed Earth one here, of course, the Hiya Toys and the regular edition. And these run bigger than these Hiya Toys figures do, because, you know, the Mezcos do run big. I mean, look at the size of this Lawgiver versus this one. That's a huge gun. And yes, he's got the version 2 in here, and it's not nearly as big as that one. Just weird because these are bigger figures. But yeah, I'm liking what they're doing here because this will fall more in line with some of my 1/12 scale figures, which, bringing those in. Now, here are the, of course, the Marvel Legends Worthy Cap and the G.I. Joe Classified Snake Eyes. And now you can look at these and maybe make the argument that Dredd should be a little bit bigger. You know, I'm not sure exactly what Dredd's height is in the comics. I guess he would be more comparable to Steve Rogers. Steve was pretty tall, but yeah, this is how it looks with more main scale 1/12 figures. And of course, Danhausen, which Danhausen is, this is appropriate height. Danhausen is huge, you know, so he would tower over Dredd. You know, he's a super heavyweight. So there you go, guys. There's my review of the Hiya Toys Judge Dredd. This is my first venture into Hiya Toys. I know they sometimes make more smaller scale figures, but you know what? This isn't that bad. Like I said, it's going to fall more in line with some of my other, well, with the majority of my 1/12 scale figures. He's not going on the Mezco shelf. He's going on something that, you know, shares other figures his size. It's a decent fig. I honestly, with everything in it, I'll go ahead and give it a 7 out of 10. I do have a few complaints with the figure, but it's really good. I'd give it a 7 out of 10. Anyway, guys, I'm Jason the X. Make sure you like this video, subscribe, check out more stuff on the channel, and until next time, guys, I'll catch you later.